One of the most important parts about choosing an elected official that is in control of the country and the laws that we make and produce over the next 4 years is actually kind of understanding what they're looking to propose, what they're trying to accomplish. So today I figured I'd take a chance and go through Kamala Harris's housing plan, since we're directly affected by that, since we're in real estate. So let's deep dive, the 4 different things that she's looking to implement, if she were able to be elected over the next 4 years of her presidency. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action. If this is your first time here, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. Typically, what we're talking about here is real estate investing. How to replace your 9-to-5 income with real estate profits by way of buying houses and renting them out, buying ugly houses, fixing them up and reselling them, or creating some kind of creative method so that we don't have to have any money into the deal, so that we can own and control properties in our own neighborhood. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and like and subscribe and hang out a little bit longer. Today, I wanted to just look at a few points that Kamala Harris has kind of thrown out there about the housing policies. Because what I've noticed that every time that there's a presidential election, there are some housing rules that are changed, and it directly affects real estate investors. Now, these changes can give us a lift up and make it easier for us to make money, or it can kind of push us down and hold us back, make us pay more money and all those kinds of things. So I figured, let me check her out to see if, she's a president or a future president that I would even want in-house, because it directly affects my business. Now, I'll go ahead and put a link to this article down below so that way you guys can see exactly where I'm getting this information from. Okay, now the first thing that she's mentioning is the housing shortage that we have. And I definitely agree. So we definitely have a housing shortage in the United States. I mean, even just here in my local Triad housing Greensboro market here in North Carolina, there's definitely a shortage of housing. People that typically rent from me, probably maybe 20% of those people will be in between houses, and they'll be staying at an Airbnb or hotel or with a family member so they can have enough time to find housing. Recently, I purchased a house from an older lady. I think she was 86 or something, and her family was going to put her into a nursing home and sell the property. But the wait list on the nursing homes was 120 days wait list. So that just tells me that we have a housing shortage. There's not enough available inventory for people to move into. And really what that does is increase the percentage of homelessness in the area, but also decreases the culture in the city that we live in. So that's not good. We want to be able to have fun in our places. She's proposing a tax incentive for builders who build starter homes and build affordable rentals. So essentially, this is for the person that's going to buy land, okay, that's going to develop the land, meaning put sewer, water there, and then build a house there. Now, I like this because she's not putting a limit on it. Doesn't matter if it's the starter home that they're going to sell or whether they're going to build to rent. So I do like that there. And she says her goal is to provide an incentive for 3 million houses to be built. Okay. Apparently news says that, that we're about 7 million houses behind. So I do think that already there's a little discrepancy in this. Why only make a plan to incentivize 3 million houses to be built if we know what the true shortage is? Okay, and from what I understand, California alone, we see how the homelessness is crazy there. Every time I go to LA, people are sleeping outside of my Airbnb. You know what I mean? From what I understand, in California alone, they need 2.2 million houses in order to catch up with their homelessness. So to come up with a plan of, to create or to build 3 million houses over a 4-year period, I really don't know if that's enough. And I also don't know if she's just saying this just to say something, because we know when these presidents get these kind of ideas before the election, it kind of gets watered down, because it does have to go through, boards and all of that good stuff. It gets kind of watered down. So me personally, as a real estate investor, I would really like to see her, increase that tax incentive, so that way it's actually enough, it's actually enough housing that we can create. I mean, I want to get into, I want to do more new builds. So, I like this. I just want to see more money out there. Yeah. Cause essentially she's putting 40 billion, towards this fund to build homes. So we're going to need some more more money, Kamala. So the next thing she's proposing is to not just look at corporate landlords, but to look at landlords at a total, to make sure landlords are not targeting particular markets in order to take over and saturate. Now, it looks like she doesn't necessarily have like a direct plan of how to address this. She did recognize that corporate landlords, so like Blackstone and those kind of corporations that own 25,000 units, she says that she understands that they're not the whole, part of the problem, but just landlords targeting specific areas might be an issue, but she doesn't know how to address that just yet. Now, the next incentive that she actually wants to throw out here is for the renter. I like this one. Okay, it says Harris proposed up to $25,000 in down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. Okay, and one of the requirements is that you have been renting. For 2 years, and essentially, when you've been renting for 2 years, she'll allow you $25,000 in down payment assistance when you purchase your first home. Now, I love incentive programs like this for two reasons. Okay, now it's not necessarily free money, because it is still like a loan, but it's a 0% loan that you don't pay monthly on, and then they typically expire. In my opinion, with the increase in housing prices and also the stricter terms that loans are having these days, a down payment assistance program is needed for these new homecomers. I mean, honestly, I'm 33 and I've bought a bunch of houses, but when I go meet my friends at homecoming or go to different events, they're telling me that they're still renting, that they don't see a way, they don't understand how. And so an incentive like this can really help people, get into, can really help people get into a house. So I definitely like this, and I like the stipulation of renting for the last 2 years, because I think she's saying that because she wants responsible renters to get in, not just $25,000 and you've been, living with auntie, you know what I mean, and not paying auntie anything. I think she's trying to make sure she's giving it to the responsible millennial. So I like that a lot. Now, what I do understand about any time that these housing policies come into place, it's going to change the market and make it easier or hard for you. So I want you to check out this particular video about the 4 reasons why you should be buying property now before a new president is elected. So that way you can take advantage of all of these housing incentives that are going to come into place, whether Kamala wins or whether Trump wins. Let's talk about it.